So, Bill, let me ask you this, is that from the people that you've worked with so far, what do you really think that the most valuable things that they're getting are? What do people feel like is really the biggest value that they get from doing this kind of an approach?
Okay. Well, of course, I mentioned the figure in the very beginning, like these 80 million handling costs, pure handling costs for the documentation in the aircraft industry, $80 million every year in Europe. But, digitalization is much more than just cost savings. Actually, the cost saving aspect is the least one of it, because in this moment, and many of our clients and many of the partners we are talking to understand this already. That's why they're driving this so strongly. Once we are in the digital world with the paper archives today, going through scanners to all kinds of things into the digital world, we will have technologies in future driven by AI, driven by available technologies of today, which will be able to draw important information out of these archives and registers. I mean, think about what happens if we understand, or we really can read information that's hidden in our paper archives. What incredible amount of information from our grandfathers, from our predecessors, and maybe even from last week is hidden in those archives. And we are trying to do climate neutral flying. That means we are trying to come up with totally new aircraft. We need information. We need to know much more about materials, about technical, physical values, and so on, in order to really stand on the shoulders of our predecessors and go new ways. And that is why digitalization opens those hidden archives.
Yeah, and I can't agree with you any more. Is that I know we had a couple of quick pictures that I'd like to just show to people here. That one of them is that you're giving information to people, and I see you're putting them here quickly and accessibly on a mobile device. So, kind of, what's your vision or what's your approach for doing these things?
Well, it's good that you show that mobile device, because for our system, that's the easiest way to create or to read such information. The software was developed as a browser-based software, and it works perfectly on mobile devices, on every desktop thing, and so on. But I would like to give you one example, because I was talking about that it's not only the cost saving and so on. Let me give you that example. When I drove the first time with a rental car in the United States, it was in 1987 or so. At that time, the cars had a really wide seat in front, so you could have 3 people sitting next to each other in the front. Actually, you couldn't, because the right seat on the passenger side was always occupied with the Rand McNally Road Atlas. I wanted to know where to go, so I needed that road atlas, and it was so large, I wouldn't have found anything other than that. If somebody would have told me at that time, you can order a pizza with that road atlas, even I would have said, what are you talking about? Now, think about what digitalization has done to this example. Today, we have this Rand McNally Road Atlas here in our pockets. We can order a pizza. It shows us even how to drive. It does so many things, because it has gone into the digital world. And that's the same that's going to happen with the paper archiving when it goes digital, and it will help to serve the aerospace industry worldwide.
Yeah, so I see that there's different actions that we need to take. That, first of all, we didn't understand on maybe what the opportunities were, and then they're getting taken, and we start to understand them better.